Hey, what's up, everybody? It's JayViper here. It's great to see your smiling faces back again for another episode. Today, we're going to be talking about the lying liar that seems to be in charge of CD Projekt Red. The other day, Endymion dropped some information about what's going on in the background of CD Projekt Red and how they are pretty much in a lot of trouble from many different angles, and how their culture is also a problem causing internal strife. I'll give you a little background on it after you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
JayViper is awesome. He's so good looking. He's got the crown in all.
So real quick backstory as to what's going on here. The other day, Endymion had a video where he pretty much was covering a lot of Ubisoft stuff, but he also dropped some information on CDPR. Since then, the CEO has actually responded. But the information he dropped is basically they're losing talent, they have a real DEI problem that's controlling the company, and due to the talent loss, they're no longer going to be using the Red engine, which is their own internal engine, because they don't have people that can actually run it anymore. So they're going to be going to the Unreal 5 engine, which we've been seeing lately also, like with Halo Studios. So the CEO, Michael here, has responded to that video saying, seems we live in times where anyone can record complete nonsense and make a story out of it. CDPR talent leaving? We have the lowest rotation of people in recent years. DEI-driven recruitment? We hire based on merit and talent alone. Just as we making games driven by artistic vision alone. Why did we choose UE? Because it enables us to work on our games more efficiently, and we remain cutting edge tech-wise. The Witcher 3's director left? Well, yeah, more than 2 years ago. By the way, he said that in the video, that he had left a while ago. Now, can we stop looking for conspiracy theories and go back to making cool stuff? So, on the surface, this seems fine. He's rebutted it all. But the fact is Endymion actually has a lot of receipts to go over all of these things. So, let's get to the video and see what's going on.
Hey everyone, it's Endymion, and there's a rule on Twitter where every single day someone is made the main character on that website.
Okay.
It is your job to ensure that you are not in fact made the main character of the day. Well, yesterday on Twitter, I was the main character, and it was glorious. I said some things about CD Projekt Red in one of my previous videos from a source, and well, things happened. So let's talk about it all, and I'll show you every single receipt imaginable to show you that maybe, just maybe, I'm not actually lying. And
So I actually haven't seen this yet, but I saw a lot of receipts posted on Twitter before you did this video, so I looked at them, and there's some real stuff there. It's I mean, you just catch the guy red-handed using CDPR's own words. That's the amazing part. So I really want to go look at this video and see what else there
You'll
is.
see that no matter who comes after me with what, I will protect my integrity. After all, these hands are rated E for everyone. And shout out to Grums, Yellow Flash, Madam Savvy, and Hypnotic for standing up for me and always having my back. I'm glad to have you guys in my corner. First off, do not harass the CEO of CD Projekt Red.
Okay.
We have to understand where he's coming from. He's a guy with a lot on his plate constantly. I wish him the best.
Yep.
And I truly hope that CD Projekt Red doesn't get annihilated from within with stuff like DEI, ESG, and more.
Yeah,
However,
big time. I mean, like, that would be horrible because this is a company that makes great games. I mean, they're constantly, when they release a game, they're like developer of the year, right? I mean, publisher of the year because they are great. But we saw what happened with Cyberpunk. They might be slipping. They might not be The Witcher, you know, the same people who made The Witcher.
as you'll see, it absolutely has a lot of that nonsense going on. So I woke up, released a video, and found none other than the CEO of CDPR calling me a liar for my claims that I was told from a source.
We just went
I
over
said in
that.
that other video that CDPR is in chaos behind the scenes. They are also allegedly, based on what I was told, having to rely on contractors like crazy to make up for the lack of top talent that has left the studio in the last couple of years.
That's really bad. Like, if you're contracting out work because you lack talent, you're never, like, even if you find very talented people, when they're not like part of your group, you will always have some kind of drop off there, no matter what. Like, if they're not internal people, and you're contracting, you're not going to get the same quality.
Apparently, I'm wrong. This is what the CEO of CDPR had to say about it via Twitter. Seems we live in times where anyone can record complete nonsense and make a story out of it. CDPR talent leaving, we have the lowest rotation of people in recent years. DEI-driven recruitment, we hire based on merit and talent alone, just as we make games driven by our—
Honestly, him saying that he hires based on merit and talent alone is enough to get him canceled by the woke mob. They'd be like, what? You don't have DEI? Like, I'm not kidding. I'm surprised they didn't go at this guy, but because he's punching back at Endymion, maybe they wouldn't. But saying that in this day and age will get that group absolutely on your ass. And I didn't see any of that, which is surprising.
Artistic vision alone. Why did we choose Unreal Engine? Because it enables us to work on our games more efficiently and we remain cutting edge tech-wise.
Yeah, it's more efficient because you don't have anyone to work on your engine.
Yeah, more than 2 years ago. Now can we stop looking for conspiracy theories and go back to making cool stuff? So that's what the CEO said. I think you knowing the context behind what they're saying is actually important. This reminds me of my Ubisoft leaks I've been posting recently, where people also called me a liar and I was making it all up, only for me to share so much information and actual receipts that narrative calling me a liar evaporated like a fart in a wind tunnel.
Except that they called him a liar, so sure, the people calling him a liar might have backed off, but there's all these people now who are like, oh, he's a liar, because that's how like a news cycle works, right? That's the win for the other side, is they, even though they knew that he wasn't lying, calling him a liar at least has people now discredited him enough where there's plenty of people who heard that, and now they just won't listen to anything he has to say. That's how things work. We see this a lot.
So I'm lying, apparently. Okay, interesting. The CEO says CDPR has not had top talent leave, but that isn't true. Besides the Witcher 3 director who has already left to make his own studio, where apparently that new studio is making a game about vampires or maybe even demons. We don't really know yet, but all we have is that single image of their next game, so we know also that the Witcher 3 director is now gone. Which is a big
maybe it's a
blow
Yasuke
already, considering that guy directed arguably the biggest and best RPG of recent years.
Yeah.
I would only really put maybe Elden Ring and Skyrim in the same category of significance as Witcher 3. I think
Baldur's
we can all
Gate.
agree on that. The Wild Hunt, that was an all-timer game. They truly don't make them like they used to. So top talent hasn't left in recent years, according to the CEO. Okay, well, that's not true at all, actually. First on this list is John Mamas, who was the head of one of CDPR's studios and was an executive producer. He left in 2021.
Seems kind of important.
These Polish names are really hard to pronounce, so if you don't mind, I'm going to just say their first name and then the first letter of their last name.
That's right,
or this
with
is
the
just
CEO
going to sound
saying.
terrible. Anyway, Conrad T left, which is the name of the Witcher 3 director that I already mentioned, which that alone is a massive loss, by the way, but let's keep going. Then you have Mateus T, who also left in 2021 as well, who was the quest director of CDPR games, and if you play their games,
2021
their
was a big
content is just as good,
year,
if not even better, than their main story. So yet another massive loss for the studio.
Wow.
Howell S left in 2020 and was a cinematic director, also a big loss as well. But
yeah, honestly, like, yeah, there's not enough being said about the quest director. Like, that is one thing I will say. Even the side quests in like Cyberpunk and The Witcher, they're so good. I mean, how much did this guy have his fingers in that? I'm sure it's a lot. If he's the quest director, that is huge loss.
Let's keep going. Piotr K left in 2020 as well, head of production.
That's Peter, buddy.
Some big shoes to fill. Also top talent again leaving.
These are big names.
Balaz Tarok left in 2016.
Never back to
so
2016
though. I
though.
wouldn't count this one as closely as the others. This person left a year after Witcher 3 happened. Then you have Jamie Burry, who was the lead animator who left in 2017, 2 years after Witcher 3. And here's the other names because I'm tired of reading them, but there you go.
Okay, so we got a 2020 art director, we've got an engine director, so that's probably not a big deal because they are switching to Unreal, but that was 2017, but that's part of the reason they're switching, right? So, yeah, there we go. Senior producer, creative director, and yeah.
This is also just a small sample of the talent that is left to either
high-end
studios,
talent,
like I mentioned earlier,
that's the thing.
Or as I was told apparently,
high-end.
that Warhorse Studios is poaching their talent, which are the makers of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So
yeah, this game is rolling, huh?
CEO said they are not losing key talent, yet they absolutely have indeed lost a lot of key talent. But
it's hard to admit.
Then he says that they hire on
CEO.
merit and talent, and that there's no DEI at CD Projekt Red. This was probably his biggest mistake because this can be easily disproven like crazy.
Crazy.
In case you don't know, DEI means diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Like yeah, you'll see it, but they have like a program. They have programs, man. They have videos on this.
Basically, identity politics
from CDPR.
Fancy your name. It's everywhere across Western industry companies, as you know. If you had every Western studio name in a room and you just threw a ball into that room, you would hit like 20 studios that push this without even aiming. It's everywhere. CD Projekt Red was not a DEI company at first. When The Witcher 3 was being made, they were completely untouched by the moronic agenda
and you could
that is
tell.
being pushed in current day nonsense. This is why The Witcher 3 was amazing, because it was, as the CEO said,
Blood and Wine. If anyone hasn't played the Blood and Wine DLC, and you have The Witcher, and if you don't have The Witcher, go get the Witcher if you don't, first of all. Blood and Wine DLC has to be the best DLC I've ever played in my life. It is so complete, it's amazing.
Made by people with merit and talent, and I mean, clearly, nobody is denying that Witcher 3 was a quality game. We know that there was no agenda or checking of boxes because Witcher 3, as you likely know, was completely faithful to the books it was based on and had no diversity in people within its world. Everybody was white, basically, because The Witcher is based on Sapkowski's work, who is, as you may know, a Polish author, and he based the entire mythos of The Witcher on Slavic folklore. But these days, we know already that they are indeed committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion, so there's no way this is going to stay this way for long going forward. As I mentioned before, CDPR has entire videos dedicated to ESG or economic social governance or environmental social governance, where they deliberately go out of their way to promote their commitment to ESG within their games. People can say that I'm lying, but that video exists. They even have a section near the end of the video where they specifically detail exactly what they are doing with ESG in mind.
Yeah, it's like a slideshow.
Remember that this video is 2 years old at this point, so these policies have likely only evolved since.
Yeah, they've only evolved, right? It's not gone.
We know that CDPR is pushing DEI because they literally have entire sections of their website dedicated to this very initiative.
Yep,
it's not like they hide any of this. Just go on their website. It's public. They have...
Yeah, and just to prove it, okay? Just to prove it, here we go. Let's open it up. I've got it opened right here. There it is. There it is. It's right here. Anyone can find it. CD Projekt Red, all right? EN/ESG /social responsibility /social engagement. Okay? It's there, buddy. It's okay. It's there. Like, don't tell us that you aren't doing that. Get real.
Sections that are dedicated to DEI and other things. It's plain as the eye can see. It even has a picture of a pride parade behind it all with all the usual rainbow colors. And as you scroll, CD Projekt Red literally admits that they are pushing to hire based on inclusivity, where it says that
we aren't doing that. It's right here on our website.
This is corporate.
We talk about it all the time.
We want people of color to be put in roles of power within our company.
We're not doing that
on merit, like the CEO claims, but based on identity alone.
Inclusive leaders.
I'm not lying about
Where's the merit?
You can go look this up yourselves, assuming they don't nuke this website.
They haven't nuked it yet.
But as of the making of this video,
they can't nuke
this is what the website says.
They can't nuke it. If they nuke it, they'll be
doesn't
done.
Push things like hiring based on identity or diversity. But his own employees and initiatives are ousting him on their own website. Like, you can't make this up.
It's
I
right
also
there.
noticed in the CEO's response that he never once debunks the part I say where I was told that CDPR is an absolute chaos behind the scenes.
It is.
And that they're struggling to move things forward. He expertly skirts around this issue and doesn't really address it, but that's okay, Mr. CEO, because I noticed, and that's what matters. Strangely enough, CDPR never commented how back in 2021, when Legacy Killer HD, another YouTuber, had a whole video detailing the staggering amount of talent that was leaving the company following Cyberpunk's disastrous release. Around 11 directors left the studio post Cyberpunk's launch, which was in 2020, in case you forgot. So in the last 4 years, CDPR has lost 11 directors at various levels, including the Witcher 3 director. And plenty of other talent as well. But it gets weirder because the CEO
this gameplay is driving
CDPR hires based on talent and
Dimian, get better gameplay next time.
It's interesting because
that's
also not true at all. Let me explain. Tell me, CEO guy, why your company has been caught red-handed having scholarship programs that explicitly go out of their way to not hire or endorse fledgling male developers, but only female ones instead. I thought you guys were all about diversity, equity, and inclusion. Are men not considered a part of that narrative?
No.
Your workplace is predominantly white men. I mean, you guys literally exist in Poland of all places, and the team that made the Witcher trilogy especially was overwhelmingly white men as well. So why do you think it's a good idea
Ubisoft still is,
the next generation of would-be talent game developers that have proven during your entire company's existence and success to be a massive boon to your talent pool? Why is it okay to kick men out of your equation within a company that was literally built on the backs and talent of the very same men you now refuse to help get their own starts in the industry? It doesn't sound very merit or talent driven to me. I mean, the CEO is also a white guy too. And that's not diverse either. Why isn't the CEO of CDPR a black woman now instead? It's incredibly tone deaf of CDPR, and appreciate again that they are lying through
He should
teeth.
step down.
You want to only help women get into the industry, but you reject men because your Western activist moron friends you hired into your company have already begun to rot you guys from the inside.
Straight up.
You got this middle-aged man staring like a deer in headlights wearing a shirt with a rainbow on
Yep,
it
there's the
as he
shirt.
stands there assuring the
Not just a
investors
rainbow, the
that
bottom is a trans flag.
CDPR is definitely going to push for more women and people of color to get hired based on identity alone. In a country like Poland
That's
that is
so
well
nonsense.
over 90%
Yeah.
white, and at a company, no less, that wouldn't exist without the very men you're now excluding, and that doesn't really seem very diverse to me. This kind of stuff, it needs to end in these studios. I know it's not just CDPR, it's rampant across the
It's
industry,
everywhere.
but there comes a time where you really need to ask yourself something. Is it all mere coincidence that the moment white men are excluded from game development in favor of diversity,
The game
that
starts
it
sucking?
also equals the decline in Western games as well?
But not just the games suck. The amount of bloat is insane. So why is that? Why do you need so many people to fill these jobs? Is it because you're hiring people that can't do the job as efficiently because of DEI practices, which bloats the size of your actual your roster of people? I think that might have something to do with it too, because the size of these companies and the amount of people working on them is crazy. It is so many. It's too many.
Rocksteady was an overwhelmingly white and male-dominated studio, and they delivered 3 amazing Batman games. Then when Suicide Squad happened, in every promotional video they detail young diverse developers at the studio, whose names, by the way, I ran through their credits earlier this year
First
during
games.
the release of that game, only to find that none of the people that were being presented actually worked at Rocksteady during the development of those Batman games, but only when Suicide Squad was in development.
So they were new
It's
to
funny
it.
how we as humans have this thing that's called pattern
Yeah.
recognition, where every time we seem to be noticing things that are happening in our
Bigot.
world, like corruption,
Phobe.
wokeness, and more, and whenever you do call these things out, you're then gaslighted into believing that none of it is true when it absolutely is.
Yeah.
CDPR had a mass exodus of talent following Cyberpunk. We know the development of that game was disastrous. We all saw the release. Thankfully, they did fix it, but it did take them years to do so.
Long time.
So many of these talented dev studios that were once pioneers of their craft have been getting absolutely ruined by DEI policies. Bethesda used to be a leader, and then they made Starfield and Shattered Space, a company like CDPR that also pushes DEI policies as well. Rocksteady is self-explanatory, and using them as an example now is too easy.
It's
We
just too
already know
easy.
they're another studio
Low-hanging
ruined
fruit.
and rotted out from the inside out by DEI or more. Look, I love CD Projekt Red. I don't want their games to be bad, but like the whole Gamergate 2 thing that is happening, at its core, the reason why it's happening is because the ethics in games and games journalism have absolutely become nefarious and deliberately pushed in a political way on purpose. I mean, the CEO says that they don't hire based on DEI or activism.
Liar, liar.
Because you guys hired Mary Kenny from Insomniac recently to work on your Cyberpunk sequel. A developer who said in an interview that the game industry must pull every lever imaginable in order to push DEI in video games no matter what. The
Just
same
do it.
developer that you hired that
Just do
defended
it.
Sweet Baby Inc. and called them the best in the business when Gamergate 2 started. The same developer who attacked players for calling out patterns in the games they loved being ruined and that they were getting gaslighted into believing that they were wrong. Your company's
Jesus.
bright idea was to hire someone like this to work on your next Cyberpunk game.
Because they
You hired
believe
the
in
most
it.
activist of activists to work at your company
That's
on the story
what
no
they
less
wanted.
for your next Cyberpunk installment. Are you crazy? A person who was a narrative designer at Insomniac and ruined not only Spider-Man 2, which was been universally spat on for ruining that game's story and characters, and led to layoffs at Insomniac, which were unprecedented and unheard of. Your company's bright idea was to hire someone like this to work on your next Cyberpunk game. And
it's like a disease like kills your next door neighbor. So then you go live in their house. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why would you ever go, like, there's a disease why would you welcome the disease into your family? Like, yeah, let's go move into their house and just be there. The bodies are still rotting. Like, what are you thinking?
This person was also confirmed to be working on the Insomniac Wolverine game up until they left for Cyberpunk now.
I still wonder how that will come out.
Mr. CEO guy, that you changed engines to Unreal 5 because it makes your games more efficient in the long run. That's interesting because just 5 months ago, Daniel Vavra, the director of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which, like I said, I was told that studio is poaching your talent at an alarming rate, publicly said via a podcast that your devs are incompetent and unable to properly understand how Unreal Engine 5 even works. Here's a clip of that
They're gonna hire
podcast from the
Unreal
Witcher
Engine
subreddit.
5 people then.
Apologies, it's in Polish, but it has subtitles at least, so...
I bet they're gonna have internal training like
CD
crazy.
Projekt jako
Yeah, I moved myself up real quick so you can read these.
přešel na Unreal, přičemž měli vlastně
Even though in my
podle
opinion
mě
they had a
dobrý
good
vlastní engine.
proprietary engine.
No a slyšel jsem taky
Well, and I've heard rumors
zvěstí, že teďka jsou
that now
jako
they're quite like thinking if they didn't make a mistake.
No bavil jsem se s jedním
Well, I talked to someone whose name I obviously can't say, and I said to him, so what about Unreal?
Super,
Great, we already have
tam máme udělaný kus jako nějak
pieces done like some
krajiny, já to
landscapes.
říkám, no a v
And I said, well, what about an open world?
no
Not
to
yet.
ještě ne. Oznámili to když, jo, do roku.
A year, 2 years ago, and it still doesn't work as good as their old engine. Now, how do they actually improve the graphics for the console and so on? It's still beautiful.
Very
It's crazy.
interesting. So which is it then? Like I said, I was told by sources
Yeah,
that you guys
that guy
swapped
knows.
from Red Engine, which was used for Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk, because you didn't have enough top talent that was familiar with the engine anymore after the mass exodus of devs. So you swapped to Unreal Engine 5, and now another guy who makes successful video games and knows your employees personally
Knows it.
has been told by your studio and company that it is full of inept people who
Yeah.
can't even get Unreal Engine 5 to run properly.
And you have to believe that guy. You have to believe him. He knows for sure.
A v open worldu? No to ještě ne. Oznámili to když, jo, rok, dva zpátky a prostě furt jim to nejde.
And Daniel
doesn't
Lavra
work.
even says it
2
was
years.
a stupid change because Red Engine was amazing and didn't really need a change. So you're saying one thing, Mr. CEO, but your narrative keeps getting torn apart by the people around you.
That's the
Again, I
thing.
don't hate you, but if my credibility is on the line here, you can bet your sweet butt cheeks I'm gonna come swinging with all I got.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is if he's calling out Endymion about this, like you have to rebut him if you have the information. Like that guy is out of his shoes right now, like trying to say that he's lying when, especially since it's clear now that he's not and he has the information. Like just going online, he found that and can back it up. The information to prove it's online. Someone has put the pieces together that works there and is like, hey, and they're telling them experience. So then you can go back through videos and prove it all.
Also, circling back to hiring based on talent and not identity political reasons, why does it say this in your diversity section? Where is it? Oh yeah, right here, where it says, we are making efforts to place in our games characters of different personalities, social classes, ethnic groups, and sexual preferences. We show the inequality that exists in the world, the diverse paths that people take, as well as various problems they must overcome. Very interesting. Also, you mind telling me why you say your company is for everyone, yet right here in your social engagement page on your main website, you say near the bottom of this page that we do not support organizations that discriminate on the basis of race, skin color,
And
creed,
they
sex,
do it.
religion, age, national origin, or sexual orientation.
Whoops.
Yet you, like I said,
Yeah,
don't
Yubi.
give scholarship programs to men within your studio.
Yubi does that.
That's a little confusing,
But
isn't it?
that is
also, you're
confusing.
apparently giving free courses
They don't support
to devs
themselves.
to join your studio.
Maybe that makes sense. Maybe that's why everything's going so bad. They don't even support themselves.
Who can't even read or speak Polish correctly. Shouldn't that be a requirement to work at your studio that is absolutely predominantly well versed in how to speak Polish?
Refugees
how
and
to
persons
read it
seeking
as a
internet- what?
requirement? Wouldn't it be better to hire people who live in Poland already that know how to speak it natively and how to write it?
That
Instead
is
of
a
hiring
weird
some
statement.
outside diverse talent that has
This
no
is an
idea
activist
how
company.
to even properly communicate to work with your studio and employees instead. Could it be that you're only offering these services to force people into your company that have no business being there in the first place?
That's what it seems
you know
like
what
to
would
me.
be a better fix than to very slowly and painstakingly
Seems like they're very worried about activism now. Like they're really very worried about activism and not so much worried about making games anymore.
teach middle-aged devs how to speak it?
Like, do these people not understand that, like, you, the CEO or whoever, you can go do activism on your own time? Like, you literally can. You don't need your company to do it because you're going to destroy your company in the process. You can just go do it with your own money. The thing is, they want to use the money from the company.
You can read an
That's what
entirely
they
new
wanna do.
language. Maybe
They'll just
hire
siphon
all
it.
those passionate Polish white guys you're
Not
supposed
just the money, but like they want to use the resources from the company.
to hire because they got a dick in their pants and their skin is white like yours. Probably a good fix-all solution. And you'll save money on programs that don't need to exist in the first place, and maybe you can even get some developers that know how to properly use Unreal Engine 5.
That, they're going to have to do that.
Oznámili to když, rok, dva zpátky a prostě furt jim to nejde.
Ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next
Consume!
product.
Because the way you're doing it, you're hiring people who don't know how to speak or read your language, and they also don't know how to use Unreal Engine 5 properly either. Now you got to teach them all of these new ways of communication and then teach them a new engine on top of that.
That's
All
crazy.
because your old talent left who knew how to use Red Engine.
And they did.
See how this all seems pretty stupid and a complete waste of time and resources. I'm not done, by the way. We still got to keep exposing CDPR for moronic woke practices, because why not? We're already here, so let's keep
We're not done. Let's
On the
go.
website, you have another section called Material Sustainability Issues.
Uh-huh.
At the bottom of this page, you have a part where you deliberately name the core pillars of CDPR to be environment, governance, and social. Oh, wait. That's just another name for ESG.
It is
Especially
ESG.
here in the social
You can
part,
see
where
it.
you guys blatantly say, strengthening the DEI culture at CD Projekt by, among
Wow.
others, fostering inclusive
We don't
leadership.
do that.
Just consume product and then get excited.
Okay, so you not only confirm that DEI is absolutely a thing at CDPR, but you also confirm that your company is taking procedures to ensure that inclusive leadership is a thing, which is corporate speak for we want to hire people of different ethnicities into leadership roles, not really because they deserve it.
And you can do that. You can make sure that you have like diversity in your like people applying. You can make sure that happens. But at the same time, this isn't that. This is them hiring based on DEI. This is not merit based.
But simply because they're not white. Don't shoot the messenger, all right, Mr. CEO? That's what your website says, after all. I'm just reading you back what
It is crazy to me. They're
happen on
hiring
your watch.
people that
Also
don't
doesn't help that
speak
your
their
company
language.
signed a diversity charter over there in Poland, which means you are now legally
How's that
bounded
work?
by law to hire based on diversity, equity, and inclusion. You say that you hire on merit, but that's a lie.
It's
You're
illegal.
being strong-armed by the very things that you've signed over there. How can you so
Wow.
blatantly lie that your company is not infested with DEI when you're clearly being ousted in every way imaginable? Like, my God,
Wow.
dude, this charter CDPR signed thing, it says it all.
Dude,
Create a corporate culture
Wow.
and atmosphere which ensures respect for diversity by means of mainstreaming diversity management, age management, and equal opportunities in policies and procedures applied in our organization.
keep
To
moving
introduce
myself.
internal institutional solutions in order to promote the development of equal rights, including the appointment of a person or team to coordinate all efforts meant to combat discrimination and mobbing in the workplace.
Dude has been
Develop and
caught.
implement equal
I mean, okay, Mr. CEO, you've been caught, dude. You're a liar, bro. Erase your tweet. Delete your accounts.
diversity management
Wow.
policies in the workplace with special emphasis placed
He's not
on
done.
recruitment,
He's not done. This isn't done. He's not done. There's more.
access
It's
to
still
training
coming, the
programs and
receipts.
promotional opportunities, reconciliation of professional and family obligations, protection from mobbing, and unjustified dismissal. Okay, so you do hire people and admit through your own corporation
Wow.
that your hands are actually tied.
If this was a court case, CDPR would be settling right now. You know what I mean? They would not want to go into court with this. They wouldn't get into court.
So this
Oh my
alone here
gosh.
proves what the CEO was saying is a misdirect or even a lie.
Demian
It's
just...
very obvious that they're being
Receipt.
held hostage by moronic identity politics, but it's okay, CDPR. That's why I'm here.
CDPR
Also,
getting
in
lumered right
a
now.
response from the CEO, multiple news websites instantly had articles ready to go,
Getting
including
endemianed.
GameRank and Games Radar, suspiciously all up around the exact same time too. That's interesting as well. Just noticed it. But anyways, it's fine. I guess these people really do hate it when you rattle the cages and ask
don't
the
like
hard
it.
questions, but I mean, what do you even expect these days? Games journalists are just like these CEOs. Their hands and minds are tied by the same tape as well.
It's not just that, though. This journalist won't ask them the questions, right? They're not going to ask them the questions. They won't do it. That's the problem, is that there is no games journalism anymore. None. There's no hard
None of these people are
questions.
willing
None of them are
to
going to follow up
actually
on
say
this.
what they think about
They're not going
anything,
to. They're not
because
going
if
to
they
ask
do,
him.
their
They're just
own
going to cover for
friends,
him.
And I put that in quotations.
And Jimmy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's not a professional. I literally had someone yesterday on X tell me that we can't cover topics. Can't cover topics because we're not professionals. What? This is a person who eats the media's dick for lunch, breakfast, supper, goes back for a snack. His little belly's aching in the middle of the night, goes eat some more media dick.
We'll just tear them into pieces
Jesus.
for stepping out of line. Why do you think I'm getting so much hate, not just for my CDPR coverage, but my Ubisoft stuff too? Because they do not, and I cannot stress this enough, want the status quo to change in this industry.
Oh, it's going to happen.
DEI corporate parasites get fat in both wallet and social cause by pushing these things. They have, as they say, have a good thing going right now, and they do not want this lucrative and obviously
When I fought
ridiculous
this dude right here in this place, a freaking little dragon griffin flew down, and I was fighting them both at
of
once.
siphoning companies of their
Anyway.
fortunes in the name of social
was like,
justice
what
to be
It was just
disrupted in
random.
any way, shape, or form. Of course, people like Danny O'Dwyer, who was originally a journalist at GameSpot, which should be enough for me to say that we should never listen to his claims on anything, but Danny eventually founded NoClip, a documentary series. He also really hates me and thinks that I'm full of crap. Here's what he said via Twitter. The worst trend with these ambulance-chasing freaks is them cosplaying as journalists. Getting two people to talk off the record is about as difficult as wiping your
Wyvern.
arse.
It was a
I don't know,
wyvern.
maybe
That's what
this
it
guy
was.
has trouble with that too. Of course,
Anyway.
Danny doesn't like me because I'm actually rattling cages and asking questions that he'd never have the balls to ask himself, because he knows that if he did, it would cost him opportunities in the industry. For God's sake, the guy at
Access.
NoClip, they did a whole documentary about CDPR.
Yeah.
Of course, he's not going to talk bad about them.
Access.
Which tells
Access
you right then and
journalism.
there that there is
See it all the
definitely
time.
a sickness in that very same industry if honesty and criticism are not encouraged but instead punished. Danny is also a closeted racist that got exposed for spewing
I
some
saw
very
this.
hateful tweets back
This
in the
is
day.
crazy.
He has openly stated that he hates black and Muslim people.
Yes.
He's also used the N-word publicly many times.
Many times.
And he even refers to Indian people as slurs that I can't even say on
Yeah.
YouTube for obvious
Oop.
reasons. I have to black box his words here due to YouTube, but if you need the source of this, I have a tweet on my Twitter page.
Yep,
where
I saw
post a
that.
link to these
It's
tweets as
crazy.
well,
This guy's got
fully
some
unedited
issues.
too, of course. The point here is that me asking these questions has caused a lot of people who have skeletons in their closets for being exposed as bad actors now too. In my opinion, never
Yep.
listen to Danny O'Dwyer. There's a reason
Nope.
why other former games journalists find him to be a hack and disingenuous most of the time. Also, doesn't help that he's a xenophobic racist too, which I mean, that's just a cherry on
But
top
he
of that.
calls everyone else
I
that,
feel,
guarantee
yes.
you.
But enough
That's what
about
they all
fucking
do.
GameSpot racist. Let's finish this video with
That
some
is crazy.
final things. Firstly, people will say
I saw those
after
videos like-
seeing all of this that DEI is not a thing as CD Projekt Red. These people are delusional and likely hear wind whistling in their brains when they sit in a room alone. For example,
Wow.
CD Projekt deliberately stated that they have what's called, and no, I'm not kidding, a DEI award ceremony at their company. They rewarded an initiative about menstrual leave. People
Yep.
will then tell you that DEI is still not at the company.
Cover
And
the menstrual
photos
leave.
Exist taken within CD where it literally says those words behind them. The
Yeah.
point I'm making here is you need to realize
Look
who
at
you're up
this.
against when it comes
The
to
menstrual leave. No, he's not going to. The menstrual leave kills me. It kills me. Where is it? Oh, God, where is it? Here's their tweet about it. This is insane. They were like, they're really pushing. They were so proud of themselves. We're proud to receive the Diversity Charter Award for our menstrual leave benefit in the category of innovative approach to diversity, equity, and inclusion in business. This is from that picture, right? But this is their tweet that went along with it, which honors organizations showcasing outstanding commitment to fostering an inclusive workplace. This category is chosen by internet users. So thank you to everyone who voted for us. Here's a summary of the impact of this benefit. 39% of eligible Reds have taken menstrual leave at least once. On a monthly average, 11.3% of eligible Reds use this benefit. 57% use menstrual leave at least twice, with 1% using it every month. And here's the photo right here. You tell me if all these people should be taking menstrual leave. And also on their website, they don't just say women at all. They don't say women once. They say menstruating person. Hello. That's called a woman. Back to the video.
this culture war stuff, because half of the time these people don't know what they're talking about, and the rest they're going to lie and then denounce what you say
Yep.
because it's the only way they think they can hurt your credibility. They tried it with me
Yep.
when I did my Ubisoft coverage, and they're trying it again here too. I want you to know that you should never run away from bullies, but instead slap them in the face.
With
Give them a
receipts.
taste of their own medicine, like I'm doing right now. These people, they don't owe you anything. They don't exist without your support.
It's not that they don't owe you anything. You owe them nothing. Nothing. Just because they're working hard on a game, working hard, making a piece of garbage, you owe them nothing. You don't have to buy that. You owe them
Sickens
nothing.
me to see these people, whether it's the CEO of
Fuck
CD
'em.
or others, go out of their way to think it's their moral right to call consumers wrong.
And if
I
companies
didn't
who once
report
loved
anything that was
die,
fake here.
they
The
killed
CEO
themselves.
Deliberately went
This is how I feel, right? It's like, we have told you what to do for us to buy your stuff and what is killing games. It is up to you, the developer, the publisher, to listen or die, right? And I mean die like the company dies, okay, before anyone gets too crazy. But it's like you can survive, you can be very, very successful, but you have to listen because we're telling you what we want to buy. It's up to you. It's not up to us. It's up to you. The ball's in your court. What do you want to make? Who do you want to please? A very small minority of people, the modern audience, or the broader audience, which is everybody else?
Around what I said and then change the conversation. And when I tell you that they're having troubles with Unreal, and then Warhorse's own game director tells you the same thing, I mean, come on, guys, really? Look, I understand they can't 100% confirm everything I say for obvious reasons.
They know.
But all the CEO
he didn't have to tweet
was
that.
Put a torch under his own company.
Yeah.
He ended up Streisand affecting what was a blip of information in my video that was...
Could you imagine if the CDPR CEO just didn't say anything? This video wouldn't even get made. We wouldn't know even more, with receipts slapping him in the stupid face.
Primarily about Ubisoft and not really CD Projekt. And now everyone and their grandmother is going to be looking into everything involving this company now. Effectively meaning that this CEO played himself. He is
exactly. That video was about Ubisoft. And he just mentioned, that's what I was saying, right? He just mentioned CDPR.
Ruining his company's image by doing this. And now more will come to light because of what he did here.
Now more insiders going to come. That's the effect. This is blowing up. More insiders are going to come.
Him 100%, but he likely regrets doing what he did now.
For sure.
I don't want anyone to not support CD in the future. I think they do make quality games.
Only support them if it looks good.
This story has proven anything. It's that not only do companies lie,
can they do it?
But people will try to tear you down and ruin you for speaking out against the status quo. I am not.
You're gonna have women witchers in the next one.
So much in this video alone that there's no way
an impossibility in the lore.
Hack CD's website and then write up all of these articles myself in the time that it takes me to make this video. Like, come on.
And make it look neat. Use their layouts.
There will be those that will still deny the truth because they only operate and exist as long as said truth is not viewed as anything but a lie. Identity politics and DEI are ruining your favorite video games. This entire year's worth of stories have proven that more than enough already. Sweet baby defenders can do all they want, thinking I'm some evil person, but they're just clutching pearls. I'm thankful for all the support you guys give me and for allowing me to tell you these things on a regular basis. My integrity matters, but I'm also a little hot-headed when people call me a liar, which I know for a fact I don't blame you. But regardless of the future, I will continue to tell you the truth. They can attack me all they want. I think I've already more than proved I'm doing far more when it comes to keeping you guys informed than any of these games journalists have done in years. So keep hating me, journos, racist documentary guys, or CEOs. I won't stop doing what I'm doing. We can fix this industry. It's going to take a hell of a lot of effort to do so. All right? My eyes are sore and I'm very tired. Goddamn, running this is a one-man show is insane sometimes.
Get some editors. I know it's rough.
As always, thank you for watching, subscribe. Thanks to my supporters, and I'll see you in the next one. And to my detractors, you lost again. Better luck next time.
Tell them that you love them. So great video by Endymion. Definitely give him a follow. The video's linked below too. You can go watch it yourself. He also has the one before that you can check out. And that other one's mostly about Ubisoft. So that's the thing, is this CEO came out and stuck his foot right in his mouth. And when you do that, and call him a liar when he has the receipts. So like, come on, man. And the receipts are on the website. The receipts are on the website, man. Like, what are you doing? We can all look. And he was out there posting stuff on X saying, look at this. Here's another one. Here's another receipt. Here's another receipt. Here's another receipt. And another one. Like, we can see. Like, we're not blind. So huge shout out again to Endymion. I appreciate that. What does everyone here think about this situation? How effed are we on the next Witcher? I mean, I am honestly worried. I was worried anyway because of the way that the show's going. And, you know, they're part of that. And that whole situation with Geralt not even going to be there. Are they going to really start to make female Witchers? I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing anymore? So anyway, do me a huge favor. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so I can see you on the next one. Love you, man. Peace. Bye, everybody.
He's owning every game.